Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a look at a couple of new supporter cards. 2 new supporter cards have been revealed, and frankly, ladies and gentlemen, if we didn't have a chat about them, well, it'd be a little bit sad, really, wouldn't it? Now, our translations come from the lovely Antoine Boulet, which, honestly, by now you probably should have guessed. We've got Flannery, and we knew we were getting a Flannery supporter. And we've got Siebold, and, did anyone think we were getting a Siebold supporter? Really? For anyone that doesn't know, Siebold is one of the Elite Four from Pokémon X and Y. So, yeah. Hands up if you remembered Siebold. But we do have a water-type trainer. And, of course, Rapid Strike, one of the main typings we see here is water. So, I suppose it fits. It's just weird. I did not expect to see a Siebold card anytime soon. But I want to start off with Flannery here because Flannery, my goodness, she has waited her turn. What we see here is a single strike supporter card, and it reads, choose 1 special energy attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon and 1 stadium in play and discard them. Okay. It is a disruption supporter. Now, there is an obvious question here, so let's go and answer it. It's the usual thing in Pokemon of you do as much as you can. If there is a special energy and a stadium, you have to get rid of one of each. Even if you maybe want to keep the stadium in play, you can't. But if there is only a stadium, you can use this just to get rid of it. And if there is only a special energy, you can use this to get rid of it. Which I think sounds kind of fair, honestly. Is this any good? I mean, it's energy removal. It's interesting, of course, because one of the Rapid Strike cards we've seen so far is Fan of Waves, an item card that takes a special energy and puts it on the bottom of your opponent's deck. Now, it doesn't get rid of it. Like I say, it puts it on the bottom of their deck. It's still in their deck. It's available to use later. But we are also talking about an item card here, which means that actually there's an argument that in a lot of games, in a lot of circumstances, you could just use Fan of Waves if you wanted to. I'll leave that one up to you, ladies and gentlemen. But the thing is, we don't actually have good ways to get rid of stadiums at the moment. Like, you can obviously replace it with your own stadium, but essentially, we used to have Field Blower that get rid of stadiums, but now we got Tool Scrapper, which doesn't. And that means that we've basically had Marshadow, the one from Unbroken Bonds. Nice ability, gets rid of a stadium. But it doesn't anymore, because it's gone away. And sometimes you do want to get rid of the stadium. I mean, classic example here is Garboda. Garboda gets automatic poison on your opponent's active if there is any stadium in play. And it doesn't matter what the stadium is, whether it's yours or your opponent's, nobody really cares. So, actually, yeah. Sometimes you do want to get rid of a stadium without replacing it with one of your own. So, this could be good. And I'm kind of struggling with this one a bit. Because I like getting rid of a stadium, I like getting rid of a special energy, I like doing both in one. I mean, the other supporter card we've got at the moment, which is Energy Denial, is Team Yell Grunt. But Team Yell Grunt takes any energy, but it puts it back to your opponent's hand. Clearly discarding it is better, and most of the time, special energy is extremely hard to recover, so this actually works really nicely. So, I like it, but is it enough? I think this is a classic 1 or 2 of in a deck. I think this is exactly the kind of card that you will play as a 1 or 2 of, because, yeah, that'll do. I don't think it's the kind of thing that you're going to want to play over and over again, because frankly, I don't think it's good enough, and I'm sorry if that sounds a little bit rude. Don't forget, of course, we do have Welcoming Lantern, which is just Versus, or we will by the time this comes out, it'll be in the same set, which is Versus Seeker, but for single strike supporter cards. So essentially you can grab a single strike supporter card and put it into your hand from your discard pile. And I think with Welcoming Lantern, Flannery gets a lot better, because you can just go, well, all right then, play it as a 1 or 2 of, and then get it back with Welcoming Lantern if it turns out it is actually really good. It means cards that recover items, Pokemon that get item cards back, can get Welcoming Lantern, and then that will get you Flannery, and so on and so forth. I think this is a between 3 and 4 Wossie card. We don't give half Wossies. That would be barbaric. I don't think it's a stunning card, but by the same token, I do think this is an interesting card. And I think it's one that some control decks are absolutely going to have a lot of fun with. And for that reason, I think it's worth thinking about, is worth bearing in mind. It is going to be worth putting into some decks, but I do think it is an occasional tech, or the kind of thing that comes into control decks, rather than a 4 of in every deck. But control decks are a thing, and we have Welcoming Lantern, so please don't see that as a negative. This is a card that I can imagine seeing a whole bunch of play. Now, we've also got a Rapid Strike supporter as well. This is the aforementioned, I've already forgotten the name of the person, Siebold, or Siebold, however it's pronounced. And Siebold here heals 60 damage from up to 2 of your Rapid Strike Pokemon. Okay. It's fine. But I don't know if this is going to get a space in my deck. Because honestly, I don't know if it's particularly good enough. And don't get me wrong, I like the healing. And I like the fact that you are essentially healing 2 Pokemon. And, okay, fine, we don't have, say, Welcoming Lantern, but we do have Octillery. And what Octillery does is it lets us search out any Rapid Strike card from our deck. So we essentially play 1 or 2 copies of this, and when we get to the point in the game where it's actually going to be really useful, then you search it out of Octillery, and off you go. The question is it really good enough? Well, I mean, if we compare it to, say, Pokemon Center Lady heals 60 and all special conditions from 1 Pokemon. Now, this doesn't get all special conditions, but it does get 60 from 2. So maybe it's good in that regard. I mean, Pokemon Center Lady has always been a fringe card, right? This is not some amazing card that's popping up in every deck here, there, and everywhere. It is a deck which is very much fine. It's all right. Pokemon Center Lady is a card. It's fine. But it's not good. It sees as a tech here or there. You know, Mallow and Lana is a healing supporter we've seen lately, and although it heals the same amount of damage as this, it heals 120 from 1 Pokemon. And yeah, fine, you have to discard 2 cards from your hand, but it's also a switch, and that is one that's seen a bunch of play. You know, we saw that Lana healed 50 damage from any of your Pokemon with water energy attached to them, and Lana saw basically no play. We saw that Gardenia could heal 80 damage from one of your Pokemon with a grass energy attached to it, and again, Gardenia saw almost no play. So, I'm not sure, ladies and gentlemen, if this is particularly good. I've shown you the equivalent cards that we've seen over the past few years, and the thing is, this goes fine with them. It's not bad compared with them, but it's not really significantly better than them. And look, there are going to be some times when it's fine. Absolutely. There are going to be some useful times here. Because there are going to be some situations where you do have a couple of damaged Rapid Strike Pokemon, and Siebold is going to come in here and heal them up, and life is going to be good. But when we're talking about Pokemon with 300 HP, 60 damage is comparatively low. And a lot of the time you're going to want to heal 1 Pokemon. And to put it bluntly, the vast majority of the time, I would rather heal 120 from 1 Pokemon than 60 from 2. So I'm giving this 3 Wossies because, again, I don't think it's a bad card. And I can absolutely see times it can be useful. And I love that it can be searched out nice and easily with Octillery to guarantee that you've got it at the perfect time. But I honestly don't think this is going to be some huge, amazing card that's going to see play in a whole bunch of decks. And as much as I would absolutely love to be wrong here, I just don't think it's particularly good. But hey, I'd love for you to try and prove me wrong, so let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Me nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing is always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.